Good morning, everyone. Hello, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me well, if you can see me well. So, hello, everyone. And today we are doing name reclaiming workshop. So, um, language that we use as a tool is something that we don't notice every day, and something that we use daily. So your name is like a living frequency, and that recognizes you from the eyes, from this side. Hello, everyone. So what we're going to do today, what we're going to practice is recognizing your name, understanding what it holds for you. We'll explore the frequency and identity anchor, and through breath, rhythm, voice, and visual expression, you'll just explore how your name lands in your body and the story that it holds for you, the present that it gives you. And this is part of our Atlas mapping, understanding who you are on this map of life for yourself. So it would be great if you had some piece of paper and something to write on. Obviously, with colors, you're always welcome to use colors if you have and you like to express yourself through colors. So your name is a living frequency that reorganizes everything, and it's not just a label, it's a frequency you've been trained to answer. And in history, everything has a name, a space has a name, and a place, every object has a name, and then we have been also given a name that we didn't choose. So the reclamation and affirmation through your name that you've been carrying through the life would help you to understand what does this name actually mean for you, and which name are you feeling the frequency of understanding yourself. So the name is not just a label, it is a sound code. It's the way vibration lands in the body, in the breath, and in the nervous system. So every time you pronounce your name, you pronounce someone else's name, it comes as a vibration and as a sound code that lands in your full body and connects to something in you through the rhythm, through that container. So today we're gonna look at the number of letters that you have in your name, and then look at the vowels, the high points, the sounds that you pronounce, and then we will go into pronouncing your name, feeling the resonance, and then connecting to the depths of what it carries for you through the rhythm, through the creative expression. And everyone that has questions, please feel free to write. But we will start with opening an intention setting. So just a simple orienting breath with allowing yourself to settle into this space and see where you are today with the present. So just starting with a slow breath in, inhaling, hold, and exhale, releasing everything that's this week been caring for you. Inhaling, receiving the oxygen, the breath, the life. Holding, and then exhaling. And continue like that as we go into a simple tapping. So today we will start with tapping. So if you can just touch your collarbones and just feel your body, feel the presence of your body. And this is the way how we connecting to your body first before we start claiming the names that we hold. So start with just tapping your shoulders. See where you want to feel tapped, just to feel yourself into the body. And we'll start by writing on the paper. So if you have a piece of paper, if you can write, my name is. And then if you can, all of us, type your name and share with everyone in the comments to start the reclamation process. So when you write your name, think of the name that you like to be called. Think of the other names that you have. So write all names you have been called on a piece of paper. Right? And think of how did your grandmother, it is the name that you've been called, not the surname. Surname is holding the lineage of your ancestors. We're talking about your personal name that you've been given. You would have, in some tradition, you will have a Christian name different to your name. In some traditions, you also have several names that you given. So write all of those names that come up for you. Think of the names that you've been called when you were little. Think of the names you've been called without the surnames. When you had your friends, you would have some nicknames that you would respond, not just one off, but something that you felt you carried through. Think of the names that you have officially written but never been called. So some people have different names officially but different pronunciation. Every possible scenario that you have, just write it down, and reflect on other names that you might call yourself. Yes. So as you go along and you ride, so think of the way that you would choose, your most important name that you're calling yourself. So when you talk to yourself, think of the names that you're calling yourself. So the name is your vessel. And we'll start with selecting one that you always felt connected to. So how we're going to start, you're going to pronounce all of these names for yourself and connect to each of them in your body, feeling the resonance. And by feeling the resonance, you can choose the color that you want to color it, or create around that name is, a special way of symbolizing for yourself what is it. So with all your names, pronounce each of them and mark them with color, or just circle the one that you like. So get creative, be curious, there's no rules. Just go through that as a map of all your names and go one by one. And as you pronounce, just feel the resonance. How does it feel? What is the sensation in your body? What is the memory? Where do you feel it? What color comes up for you? So now we're going into calling all the names. So pronouncing them. So pronounce all the names. And as you pronounce, just feel into each of them, and you can mark and color it, or just connect to that sensation in your body that you have. How does it land for you? What does the present feel? And then as you go energetically through all these letters, through all these names, select the ones that you feel resonant in your present time. The name that feels that you respond to. So you know how you would have a pet and you call them and they just turn their heads. Imagine that moment. So when you calling out and pronouncing these names, see if you can have that reaction, that recognition of yourself in that name. And whatever that name is, can we please choose that one name that has that very strong resonance with you? Saying your name and feeling it. And as you choose, please write it down to reclaim it in a comment. So pronouncing all of them. And then filling all of them, marking with color, and then choose one name that you feel is resonating with you at the moment, at this present time of your life. And then you can put it in a comment. So the important part is the sound. So as we pronounce them, the vibration of the words, the frequency goes straight into you, and you feel that vibration going and recognition happening with your body, with your throat, with your belly, with your breath, with your chest. So that pronouncing goes all around your body, and you feel that attunement within you. Okay, so, and then you can write your name in the comments and claiming it. So which name are you choosing for yourself? Which is one name that you choose today? And it's not about judging what name you have and what you've been called. It is about how do you feel today, and you claiming that feeling. And it's about witnessing the moment that this is my claim name for today. This is my real self. This is my origin. This is my voice. This is how I feel. And put that name in the chat. And so what we're going to do, we're going to start by, the name is a container. It's like a vessel. And it has letters. And the size as an architecture is that size of the letters that it holds. So if you can write that your name that you chosen and start putting the energetic print in it, counting the number of letters you have in your container. So the number of letters is your name, and then the identity is predicting you, that reflects the shape you have and the name you hold. So please count how many letters you have in your foundation, in your container. How much space you have there. So by the letters, I mean, so for example, Diana would have 5 letters, right? So just write 5. And then my daughter's name has 4 letters. So that would be 4. And someone else's has like 8 names. So count, yes, how many. So count how many letters in your name. And that would be your container. So for names that have 4 or 5 letters, these names have a balanced structure. So they're very stable, practical, easy. They have an energy that is easy to pronounce, to hold on. There's a sense of natural rhythm. And for names that have 6, 7 letters, it has a depth and a flow. This feels like a bridge between inner and outer world, and it can carry complexity without being heavy. It could be adaptable, layered, expressive. So the names that have more than 8 letters, the longer names, could feel like a full structure, identity with history, with limits, with dimensions, with responsibility and leadership. So by selecting the letters, selecting the number, you connect to that number. So if it's number 5, if it's number 6, it's a number 4, you connect as your structure, as the structure of your container, and that number holds the energy of it. It is an energetic imprint of the name. So the next thing we're going to do is you go into the details of your name, and that will look at the vowels that you have. So if you look at the pronunciation and the flow, and you could see before we had language, before we had letters, we would pronounce as a child does. So when the child doesn't know how to speak, usually they pronounce vowels, and they say simple things like wa, ah, e. And that is the energy and the sound vibration that we hold behind having the structure of hard letters like D, R, K. So we're looking at the vowels, and if you can pronounce your name just with the vowels, and see how it flows. So if you look at Valerie, my name, so it'd be I, and that would be the feminine part of my language, feminine part of my name, that when you take all the hard letters out, you could feel the vowels flowing. So if you can pronounce your name and connect to that sound, so have a bit of a play with this and see how it sounds for you. So say your name with just vowels. and go slowly. And then the next stage is imagine you are singing your name. So the somatic drop in your belly and the heart and the head and the voice. So when you pronounce it, with your pure opening of the vowels, it's like a mantra. As you know, in the mantra, you would only have strong vowels that you have a long exposure to, and the sound comes through. So try with a slow breath, getting into a mantra-like explanation, pronunciation of your vowels in your name, and see how you feel, and close your mouth. So if it's I, so hold that E or whatever you have. So yeah, and connect to that. So that's our activation of our name through that pronunciation and holding that like a mantra. So let's go into a slow breath, mantra-like vowel pronunciation of your word. And feel the drop in your belly of that sound, feeling in the heart, and return to your voice. So as we've created this sound rhythmic calibration of your name, I would like us to go into creating a sigil. Sigil is like a mandala visual anchor for your name frequency. So as we can we'll just put it up. So creating a name sigil is a visual anchor for you. So we'll start with a short breath, getting your body starting with a short breath in and out, and then have a clear pronunciation of your name with the letters that sounds and combine vowels and letters. So you break your name into short va, la, re. So that would be my 3 parts. So you go into cutting your name into breaking it in new sounds, and then creating a circle on the page for you and putting that name in. So using whatever you have, if you want to have pencils, oil pastels, start putting that name on the paper with connection to that sound that you have, that frequency of vibration of your name, and create a very simple blueprint for your name. And as you do it, connecting to your sound vibration, you can continue to pronounce and with the breath connect to that name again and again as a mantra, as something you would, to reclaim your name that you know yourself by. So go into that creative process and see how the name holds, what energy it holds for you. How does it feel to be with your name, and recognizing it. And as you go into that creative process, I will talk about the history of the name and naming. And for you to go into this practice, just go slowly into your mandala and calling yourself and recognition. So names are one of our humanity oldest technologies, and before writing, before passports, before brands, naming was how a community recognized you, the place that you are, where you are protected, that you remember, that you're known for. And in small tribes, a name was first a call sign that people would call you in. So that would be part of you. And many names were very descriptive. That would be something that you do, that's something that you make, something that your lineage inheritance. If you're from the lineage of a certain trade, that's how they would call you. And that's how the surnames eventually came from the line that you belong to. And across many cultures, names also were protected and sacred. A name could invoke a blessing or a virtue, and some cultures kept a true name private, sharing only the public name. And that's why in every tradition we have naming ceremonies. Always connects with the water ritual or fire or prayer. And name wasn't just what people called you, it was what you were given to carry. And surname became common when, we had more population, and then that it was occupation or place or parent or trade, how we adopt the surname. So the empires and states and institution grew and became tools of administration, and that's how the name became something that we just have to have. And even now the name is constant identity signal. But when you enter the room, when you are addressed, your body responds to how you've been called. So when somebody is calling you, or when you're introducing yourself, every time you pronounce your name, you're reclaiming the name as an actor, as an anchor for self-recognition. It's not an ego story, but a stabilizer. And your name is the first sound that you express yourself as, of being present, of having a belonging, having a presence of this existence that you have. So if you feel into your name, if you connect to the name and the sound vibration and pronounce it and look at it and claim it with the full potential, what would be the sensation that you want to achieve? What comes up for you in that reclamation of your name? What is the anchor that connects you to that frequency? Is it the color? If it's a special symbol that reflects you through that. So by reclaiming your name and writing it down, connect to that anchor that you can build in and fill up your creation and see how does that reclamation, what emotion that comes up for you with that name, and how is my name currently living in me. So saying your name normally through the breath, how much do you feel like you arrive when you say it? How does it feel to pronounce it? if you whisper in a whispering sound, how does it feel in your body when you whisper your name? And as you say it, feel it in your chest, feel it in your belly. Where does your name want to sit in your body? Place hand there as you pronounce. Where does your name sit in your body when you pronounce it? And you can start with, as you go with your artwork, you can start by putting some things that come up for you. As an example, I carry my name with clarity. Or this the truth that it can bring up for you. When I speak my name, I return to home. I return to myself. I feel confident. See what comes up for you and just write it down underneath your name as your reclamation of what it means for you. When I pronounce my name is my anchor. When I pronounce my name, I feel seen or I exist. So see what comes up for you and just write underneath your name, what does the name make you feel as a oath, the imprint, the anchor that comes up for you through pronouncing your name, through witnessing how your name currently lives in your body, how it's spoken. Explore where you belong with that name, where the safety comes through, where the anchor through the breath, through the voice, through personal name symbol, and connect to the feeling and write it down, what it makes you feel. So this is our reclamation process of anchoring with the simple explanation of what do you feel when you carry this name, when you say it name, what is the feeling you have when you connect to your name. And as I said, examples could be, I carry my name with clarity. My name brings confidence. My name is my anchor. I feel seen. And you can write down what is your name, feeling for you. So write the anchor down. Write the anchor word. Okay. Okay. So as you do that, you can also go into understanding what values does your name bring for you. What values does it allow you to see and feel? Where do you meet yourself through this name? And as we connect to the sound, to the breath, and to the rhythm of your name, visualizing, creating the mandala, and reclaiming with the speaking and matching the frequency of the name to the frequency of your perception of that name. So we are doing the anchoring practice to finalize it. So if you can seal the work with our nervous system stabilizer, and we'll do some tapping today And again, connecting to that frequency through your voice, through your breath, through your reflection of that name. And whatever came up for you as your phrase, as your anchor, just pronouncing that. And let's start by arriving and putting the feet on the floor or getting yourself comfortable to go into the reclaiming anchor practice. So one hand on your chest, one on your belly, and look at your name, symbol, your mandala that you've created. Inhale gently through the nose. Exhale through your mouth and speak your name slowly and fully and repeat in 3 rounds. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth and repeat your name slowly and fully. Let your name be a landing into the present, into yourself. So now I would like you to trace your name with your finger and pronounce it. And as you pronounce it, just trace and feel it in your finger as your identity sensation of seeing yourself, of remembering yourself, on seeing who you are beneath it. And choose what you want to say. So my name brings me back. When I hear my name, I arrive. I carry my name with dignity. My name is my anchor. I feel seen. So whatever it is for you, reclaim that. And you don't need to explain yourself or present yourself in any way. It is the reconnection with your name, with one breath, with one rhythm, to yourself, back to you. So I would like you to do a mantra-like reading of your name in 5 rounds. A mantra-like is when you pronounce the vowels really long and you feel the vibration in your chest through the sound and going in a loop, continuing that loop. So for 5 rounds, go into Valerie, Valerie. So whatever your name holds for you, so go into that and just feel in, looking at your creation and go into that practice and connecting to that sensation in your body, connecting to that vibration through your voice. And bring one hand to your heart and your belly. Inhale slowly as the breath is remembering you. Holding for a moment, not force, not presence. Exhale like you're releasing all the borrowed identities that you don't need to hold anymore. All the attached to your name, annotation, invocation that you didn't want to carry, and release it. Listen to the echo inside and say your name with the pause and see where do you feel it in your body, that reclamation, that feeling seen, feeling self, living self. Say your name with steadiness like a drum in the earth, that you are welcoming yourself, that this is your container, this is your frequency, this is your signature, this is your boundary, this is your voice. And close your eyes and imagine your name as a thread of light extending from your heart into your life. Just see how that name appears at the thread of light and extends from your heart into your life, into your existence. See moments where you were cold and you disappeared, and when you were cold and didn't feel yourself. So hearing your name and staying present, calling yourself back into reclaiming yourself, seeing how much energy comes through, you bringing all back to the presence, to the truth, to your own energy, to your reclamation and connection to your true self. And slowly connect to your breath and come back into the present, and just notice how does it feel to pronounce the name and feeling the confidence, the trust, the strong sensation in your body, and just remembering that. I deeply grateful for all of you who joined us today for the name reclamation. And if you have any questions, please reach out. If you like to go into this meditation, you can start your day by connecting to the name, connecting to your sound, and getting yourself into that presence of witnessing yourself and knowing this is what you hold, this is your name, this is what you want to be called, and this is how you present yourself, and this is your anchor. So yes, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you next week for a beautiful journey that we're going to have. We also have an equinox coming this next Saturday, which is going to be amazing. So the equinox energy is about the balance, and because we're entering into a new phase, it's going to be going to the autumn in Australia. Here we're going into winter, so it's a great time to cleanse, to clear, and we will do amazing practice of disappearing art with watercolors and oil pastels. So I'll see you all next week, and have a great week again.